Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Did you watch Tesla's V-Robot event? If you did or you are catching up on the recap, throw it down in the comments. What did you think about that event? Now in today's video, I will share my thoughts about the event. I was watching it live, and then there are some trades that are currently in progress. So I'll share with you the updates and how I'm going to be managing those trades since the stock price has taken a massive hit after the event. If you're going to be investing in Tesla, we also need to take a look at the chart on what are the entry and exit levels that you may look into. And if you're going to be investing from a long term, what is a good starting point to get into Tesla? All that we will cover in today's video. And if you enjoy today's video, make sure to give us a like. And without further ado, let's dive in. As you may already know, Tesla's event was supposed to start at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. East Coast time. However, the event did not start until 11 p.m. East Coast time because apparently there was a medical emergency in the crowd. Anyways, after a long wait of 60 minutes, the event finally started at 11 p.m. Now, if you don't follow me on X, make sure you do because I was giving my running commentary over there. The first takeaway that I had was the Robotaxi aka Cybercab will effectively not be available until 2026 or maybe 2027. Now we know for a fact that Elon and his timelines are not something that we are proud of, and the whole FSD situation has been supposed to be available since 2016, 2018 and so on and so forth. Today is 11th October 2024, which means there is 2 to 3 years of wait time before cybercabs will be available. So that is just a fact. Now we may get cybercabs earlier than promised, but as of right now we will take between 2026 and 2027. So that's the first takeaway. The second takeaway was unsupervised full self-driving will be available starting next year in California and Texas. Now I think this is probably the best news from that event, because in order for cybercab to be effective, you need to prove in real world that the cars currently using full self-driving unsupervised can do the job. So it doesn't really matter that whether the cybercabs come with a two-seater without a steering wheel, but as long as in today's world, if that use case is now being proved, and the good news is from 2025 to 2027, there will be a full 2 years worth of data that will be collected while doing unsupervised FSD. So in my opinion, that is the most important news that came out of yesterday's event. You may have also seen RoboVan was also showcased yesterday, which is kind of like a van which can hold up to 20 people or help carry goods and services across the town. So I think that is also going to be a game changer eventually when that comes out. We don't know when, there was no timeline given. The next takeaway was what I really liked. One statement that Elon Musk made was future should like future. For that 30 minutes of showtime, I think we were all transported into a future world where when this happens, this is how the future will look like. For fans or even just want to immerse yourself in that idea, I think Elon Musk was able to deliver and Tesla was able to deliver on the vision of how the future should look like. And I think that was also a highlight of that show. Optimus was also showcased. They were dancing within the gazebo. They were also interacting with a lot of guests over there. They were serving drinks and stuff like that. Elon reiterated the fact that they are going to be available in sub $20,000-$30,000. Again, I think that is still far away. Eventually, when that is available, that will be a game changer, especially for people who are of older age. And if you have a robot that is able to help you, assist you with all the household chores, that is going to be a big help. We don't know when that vision will become reality. That could be 10 years from now, could be earlier. But from an investor standpoint, there is nothing that we can do anything right now. Let's switch to the lowlights of the event. First of all, this event was called V-Robot, and I think going into the event, because there are so many YouTubers covering Tesla and there are just so many enthusiasts, there were just ton of predictions throughout. I think there was a lot of expectation that was built what will be delivered here. There were 3 events lined up in October. The first event was the delivery number, which happens every quarter, and then you have an earnings call which happens every quarter, and then they squeezed in this V-Robot event in the middle. For all 3 events, they have to deliver something. There were a couple analysts that were clear that this event will not showcase updates on Model Y, Juniper, or anything on that sort, or full self-driving. They will pretty much be around the Cybercab, and that's exactly what happened. And this is the reason why people who had higher expectations from the event were probably disappointed. Second, a lot of people are talking about there are not details available, and I think I'm one of them. There were no details. The event started with Elon speaking and it ended within 17 to 20 minutes, and then the guests were starting to interact with the Cybercab, with Optimus Prime and the Robovan, and so on and so forth. So the event was pretty much over in 15-20 minutes for people who were watching online, but it was a party for people who were there. I think the reason is because they have the earnings coming up on 10/23. That is where they will be sharing much more details, and I really hope so they do, because if they don't, we will see another dump of Tesla stock. So in conclusion, from my perspective, if I put on a hat of a tech enthusiast on how the future should look like, I think this was great. This was how the future of transportation looked like. However, when I put the hat of an investor, the event was very underwhelming, because if you're going to launch a car for Cybercab for under 30,000, there are no details about it. Maybe there will be more details coming up in the earnings report. We'll know, we'll find out. That is one of my gripes from this event. Now, while the event was still going on in the night, the stock was down almost 3% overnight. And again, in the morning, the stock really took a dump. We have a major gap down. If you don't follow me on X, make sure you do, because I was providing my running commentary about the Tesla event. So I was up until like 12:15 to watch the event. It was kind of disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. In the morning today, I did post about this gap down. The stock was down to almost 217 after I posted this, but I think we have recovered to stabilize around $220. As the market opened today, we saw this massive dump in Tesla stock, and this is the gap that has been created now for the stock. Current RSI is about 39 on the daily, but if you switch to the 30 minutes, it's 21, 22. So the stock is really trying to hover up. Happening right now is the stock will try to fill this gap in the coming days or so, because there is another event on 10/23 that you can play towards. But I would not be surprised if the stock kind of sideways trades for a couple days, and then in anticipation of the earnings report, we may see some upswing. Again, this is exactly what happens. Sometimes after the events, the stock does drop, and then it takes a couple days for the stock to recover. But because you have created this gap of $20, I do expect this gap to be filled before the earnings call. Now, what happens after earnings, I don't know, but I think this gap will be filled before the earnings call. You can play it many ways. You can either open it for today, and the delta would be 47, so it most likely is going to expire in the money, and you will get about 175. Or you can play for next week. You will get about $575. This is $6 it will shave off. Your effective cost basis will be about $214.25 for next week expiration. And if you target the 10/25, you can actually get really good numbers. So now it just came in money, so 220 will give you $11, which will drop your cost basis to $209. You are really getting a good bang for your buck if you believe in Tesla and you plan to add Tesla to your portfolio. This is one way to be adding that. Here are a couple trades that I am currently in, and let me show you first the call option. I had a call option open on Tesla for 235 expiration today. I am up 99.27, which means that this is going to expire worthless, so I'm basically just going to keep my stocks. I did buy this stock around the 232, 233, so I did sell pretty much at the money, and that is why I did get pretty good chunk of cash on this particular trade. Next up are two trades that I have to manage. The first trade is 245 put, which is expiring on October 25th, 2014. I got $17 for it. So my current cost basis, if this expires in the money, I will own the stocks at $228, which is still down from the current stock price, which is about $220. So as you can see, my current gain and loss, I'm down 70% on it because the current contract price is 29 and I only sold it for 17. Now I did not sell it for 17. I actually yesterday I rolled this contract from 955 to 1700. So basically that's the credit that I got. So this is the first trade that I'm currently managing. In order for me to manage this trade, I will have to push the expiration date further out, maybe a month, 2 months out to collect more premium. Otherwise, I will have to own the stocks at $228. If the stock sees further declines after earnings, We'll see how it plays, but I'll keep you posted. So make sure you follow me on YouTube and on X as well for the update. The next trade is a 225 put expiring October 25th. I got $15.64 on that. So my effective cost basis is around $209 if this stock gets assigned to me at expiration. For this particular stock also, I had a 225 put expiring today, which you can see here, October 11th. I did roll it to 25th because the stock went in the money. So as you can see, you can also play these events to your favor to generate income if you have a good strategy in place. So what should you do? Should you buy Tesla at this level? Should you not buy Tesla at this level? Well, if you're going to be investing in Tesla and your cost basis is higher than 219, then you can definitely start to buy to lower your cost basis and dollar cost average when the stock falls. And especially when you have gaps, take advantage of these gaps because the gap will fill. If you are going to trade Tesla, again, it's a volatile stock right now. You can play today, or you can go out for next week and you will get really good premiums. You can, if you want to be safer, you can play a 210, that is about 25 delta. You will get about $2.23, which will lower your cost basis to 208. But I do believe that we will see a gap fill leading up to the earnings. So you have this potential where you can make up this $15 to $20 over here in the coming week and a half. Now, if you are in covered calls, this is not the best time to sell in covered calls because you are not going to get the good premium. You can see for covered calls for next week at the money, you lost 70% of the value almost. So there's no really point to selling covered calls. Just sit down, hold tight. Once you start seeing this trend reversal here to fill the gap, that's when you sell covered calls. That way you will get more premium out of it. There you go. That was my observations from the VRobot event, the pros and cons, what I think happened. I showed you what my trades are, how I'm managing those trades, and I gave you a couple ideas on how you can play Tesla stock up to the earnings. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give us a like, click on subscribe and ring the bell notification. I will see you next time, investor family, but don't forget to invest for tomorrow.